Absolutely. Breaking the live updates that are coming in straight from the Supreme Court and getting you the details for our viewers that the judges have assembled already, and there is a divergent of opinion that is being read out as far as Justice Hemant Gupta is now reading his point of the verdict, where he goes on to say that this is divergence of opinion. It is a split verdict. It is a split verdict that we are breaking for our viewers right now, because there were speculations, Rahul, that it will be a concurring one or a split one. Now, this is a two-judge bench that we are looking at, and in all probability, it will now be referred.
Let's just wait on this. It's obvious that there is a split verdict, but why is it split? Let's obviously wait for the details. Amita, this is very big. So inconclusive here, and this probably means that this is now going to go before a larger bench of the Supreme Court. So a split verdict right now. What are the grounds on which this divergence has taken place? We are yet to know, but this is the top bands, of course, will need to be very quickly updated to reflect what has been a complete surprise. We were expecting a unanimous decision, but the hijab verdict is basically out, viewers, at some level, because it's a split verdict. Now, what does this split verdict mean? Where do we go from here, of course, is something that we will have to look at. But there will be, of course, relief amongst those who have been arguing for what they claim is that hijab is a symbol of modesty. It's a symbol of an identifying intrinsic symbol of the faith, belief and constitutional right of freedom of religion. So hijab, this particular verdict will once again set the cat amongst the pigeons. You're going to have huge amount of, obviously, commentary on the point of divergence, and is it really on the essentiality of the hijab, or is it on some other issue we don't quite know as yet? Amita, what are you hearing?
We are getting, as far as Justice Hemant Gupta is concerned, his side of the verdict, where he goes on to say that in my order there are 11 questions framed. It is still not clear whether or not he has dismissed the grounds and the pleas of wearing the hijab. Is it an essential Islamic practice or not? That is something that will be clear in moments from now, where we get more of what exactly Justice Hemant Gupta has to say on this.
Well, Times Now the first to tell our viewers that there is a split verdict in the Supreme Court. The two justices, Hemant Gupta and Sudhanshu Dhulia, are at loggerheads, really, in a manner of speaking. Now, we don't quite know, viewers. We're just awaiting more details on where the exact point of divergence is, but one suspects it could be on the essentiality of the hijab to the religion. I'm only hazarding a guess here. I have no right, of course, to preempt the Supreme Court justices, but it might be a case here on that. But we'll have to await final word. Let me go across to Priyank. Priyank, surprising, not expected, but certainly something that will obviously kick off a major debate.
Yes, Sati, around a few days before his retirement, Justice Gupta has come up with this particular verdict, where the verdict is looking at a split verdict. Although the statement which are coming out while the order is being narrated, and what judges have said, that there are 11 pointers on which we are trying to specify. We will specify that why this order has come up. We are trying to tell it to you, all of you who are present in the court, who are hearing all those petitioners, that my answer to all is against the appellants, and the appeal is dismissed. High Court judgment is confirmed. This is what Gupta has said. While on the other side, Justice Julia has said, I have a different view. I allow all the appeal. I'm also joined by Nilashish, the legal correspondent, who have also been tracking this development very specifically. So what are the findings? What are the exact wordings which are being stated in the court?
Clearly, it is a split verdict at this point, with Justice Gupta saying that he has dismissed the appeals. Justice Dhulia saying that he is allowing these appeals. Of course, at this point, what seems very likely after this kind of a verdict is that it will be referred to another bench, a higher bench. But as of now, what Justice Dhulia is saying is that the Bijo Emmanuel case, Supreme Court of India found that...
Nilashish, one more important factor which we need to highlight, Rahul, that ultimately it's a matter of choice. That's what Justice Dhulia is saying. This is what we were trying to hint out to, suggest to our viewers, that this is the split verdict, and on the statement, on these, pronouncement of this particular order which is coming out from the Supreme Court, from the apex court, from the bench, it appears that the matter will be later on referred to a higher bench, which means 3 judges bench, and Justice Dhulia is saying that it's a matter of choice. Nilashish, continue.
Well, yes, absolutely. It is a matter of choice as far as Justice Dhulia is concerned. He said that the Bijo Emmanuel case, in it, the Supreme Court of India found that the expulsion of school children for not singing the national anthem constituted a violation of their right to freedom of expression. This case is covered here, is what Justice Dhulia says. He says he went by the fate of the children.
Another big statement coming out, Rahul. On one side, Justice Dhulia has stated that it's a matter of choice. On the other side, Justice Dhulia is also stating, this is what our legal correspondent Harish is saying, that I went by the fate of a girl child. So these are the important factors. Two primary
Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's speak once again to the correspondent there right next to you and ask him to once again repeat for our viewers who are just tuning into this broadcast. Major decision, viewers. Actually, it's not quite a decision. We have a split verdict, which means that the two justices have divergent views on this entire matter. And I want to go back, of course, to Priyank, who is there with Nilashish. Priyank and Nilashish, just update our viewers on the latest. What is the point of divergence here once again?
It's certainly, Rahul, the point of divergence is that on one side, Justice Gupta has come up with an in support of those petitioners. On the other side, we are expecting that series of statements are coming out. But what we can tell you to our viewers, that there are two primary issues which has been addressed in the courtroom. One, that it's a freedom, it's a choice of the girl child, and they have also gone with the fate of girl child. What's the latest update, Nilashish? You have been looking at the phone. What is Harish sending right now?
Well, as of now, Justice Dhulia is delivering his judgment, saying that the foremost question in my mind was the education of the girl child. Are we making life any better? That was a question in my mind. I have quashed the government order of February 5th and have ordered the removal of the restrictions. So Justice Dhulia at this point talking about his judgment, delivering his judgment, saying that I have held that the judgment of Bijo Emmanuel squarely covers the issue. Let's not forget the justice of Bijo Emmanuel in this case that is being cited is spoken about by Justice Dhulia, wherein it was about the expulsion of children for not singing the national anthem. At this point, given the fact that there is a divergent view in the matter, in this particular case, the matter be placed before the Chief Justice to be referred to a larger bench is what Justice Hemant Gupta is saying. So as we are pointing out, the breaking news, it will be referred to a larger bench, given the fact that there is a split verdict at this point by the Supreme Court with regard to the hijab issue. The CJI will have to constitute a bench. The matter will be referred to the CJI to constitute a three-judge bench, given the divergent views of Justice Hemant Gupta and Justice Dhulia at this point.
That's a breaking input, Rahul. This is what is coming up in the hijab hearing, that now the matter will be referred to the CJI, and the CJI will finally decide that whether the matter will go to the three-judges bench and when it will go. So after the split verdict which has come out in this long and lengthy debate, which has started from Karnataka, which reached to the apex court, where all these senior counsels had argued for the petitioner's side. There was a lengthy argument for 10 days, which happened, Rahul.
All right.
And finally,
Luthra is with us on the phone line. It's a split verdict. What do you have to say?
So I feel quite pleased. You know, it's an important issue, and I believe that this is an issue which requires consideration, because on one hand you want uniformity of school uniform, you want that people should not feel. On the other hand, if it does not impinge on security or it does not impinge on uniformity, then you could possibly permit it. So there are two rival versions, and I feel the extent to which essential services and religious practices were gone into by the Karnataka High Court is something which needs a look at. It needs to be looked at. Should we, as a court of law, or should a court of law be going into essentials? What are essential aspects